These guys, the appeal that I had to it was that you just grab it, stick it right here in the stake pocket, whichever direction, and then you basically have a full force clamping down on the strap. If you got one of these guys, I promise you your load is pretty much going nowhere. But they are heavy. They do take up a lot of space. I have 8 in total, 2 sets of 4, and then I have the kidney straps right over here. And have those bad boys hiding. Now, are they useful? Yes. Have I used them? That's kind of where I've been thinking about it, and I want my axles to be as light as possible. I want to be within the limits. I want to do everything legit. I don't want a reason to be stopped. The thing that did matter was my weight placement coming across the scales. So if I would have placed my weight just a little bit further back on the axles on the trailer instead of on the actual truck or towards the truck, I would have been fine. Here's what I'm doing. Got all these straps. Well, they need to be organized, but I moved everything out of the way, pulled out my bungees, pulled out an extra chain that I had sitting over there, remove all the binders. So what I'm thinking about doing, getting all this actual straps and kind of placing them neatly, organizing them up to here, and then adding the ratchets on top, coming up to here and putting as much space as possible as I can. If I have leftover space back here, I'm going to try to either throw the chains or the binders, and if I can get lucky, both. I don't think the binders are going to fit because the metal portion right here doesn't collapse. If they did collapse, I could probably get lucky and throw them in here, but they don't. So try to organize and put as much weight as possible or as much stuff as possible here in the trailer's toolbox. That way that toolbox that I have sitting back there that I have strapped down can be relatively light and hold not so essential items, such as, like, let's say small straps that I use for miscellaneous crap. Like these straps, very useful. Although they're tiny and don't have a lot of capacity, they can come in clutch at a moment's notice. You just never know when you need something like this, right? The small straps hold my small tarps, you know, the small Harbor Freight ones. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass to use a full-size tarp like that one, so get away with putting those guys inside of the toolbox. PPE gear, probably my my steel toe boots, having those inside of the toolbox if I ever have to go into a job site, you know, just pull up, hop in the back of the truck, pull off my PPE gear, throw it on, and then be with compliance. Have as much Hotshot gear as I can inside of the trailer toolbox, and have all the somewhat necessary shit be in the small toolbox back there. Cool. Second toolbox is pulled. Most of the stuff is kind of organized. PPE stuff is right there, an extension cord just in case. Main tools that I'll need, just basic sockets, ratchets, screwdrivers, something that I might need along the road, some extra wiring, you never know. Gloves, straps, strap protectors on the corner, some chains, the binder sitting back there. So this guy's a lot lighter than it once was. I also do have my snow chains over here, which I doubt I'll need anytime soon since it's getting hotter and not colder, but you just never know. Tarp I'll throw in there. So that being said, majority of my straps are in here, and I know it doesn't look very organized, but I kind of have a system for it. You know, just have one strap in this direction, and if the handle's up here, put the next handle on the back side where the actual ratchet's at. That way they kind of like fit. I don't know if you can kind of see that, how they kind of fit together like that. So it's 14 of the actual like strings or the straps, the lasso here and the ratchet. That's more than enough. I just got to figure out what to do with the bungees. I can throw them in here. Now that I have the space, I'm thinking I can throw my actual car straps. This is a set of 4 straps, so quantity 4 straps for one car, ties down all 4 tires. Thinking that we're gonna throw this in there. And my strap reeler or my strap organizer. This thing is really neat. Just find a corner like this, and then you use that little lever right there to tighten it down. You fit the strap up here where my finger's at, and you use this to reel in your strap, and it just removes a lot of time. Boom, there you go. Kind of fits ish. I can probably fit that right there. a little tight, but yeah, it'll fit. I want this one here, so when I'm done offloading something, I could just tie it right there, reel up my straps quick. Time is money out here, so you know, 12 bucks saves you 10 minutes. Cool, so this is the final resort. This is my last resort. Okay, final result. Strap, winder, boom, placed right here. I can always put it back and forth from the spots that I had it in, just like that, so it'll sit somewhere else. But right there, when I had it, I don't know why I'm moving it, man. It was fine right there. Okay, it's fine right there now, so don't touch. Zip ties. Always need zip ties. Maybe you got a lot of excess slack that's coming from the straps at the end. You got it tightened down, you know, knot it up, attach it to whatever you need to. Sometimes a couple of zip ties don't hurt, just to give you that little peace of mind knowing that everything is tied down. So our 14 straps, our 14 ratchets, car straps acting kind of a divider. I do have a chain down here underneath all my bungees. 60 bungees, 30 or 60 bungees, I can't remember. I could fit a couple more chains in here if I really wanted to, but I kind of don't. Kind of a matter of priorities. I'm thinking, since I have my tarp up here above the extra, it's a little bit more important for me to have my bungees on hand than it is for me to have a couple more extra chains inside of my toolbox. There is space for more things, but I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think that's a pretty decent setup at least. So now, close this properly, looks good. I can lock it up, and if I ever need an extra chain and a binder, I have my headache rack that's made by 4x4s right here. I can always move the dunnage, place it wherever I have to, and boom, I got my first set of chains ready to go right there. Second one, I would just have to jump on the back of the truck. Inconvenient, nah, slightly, but whatever. It's a little bit lighter of a setup. So now I got to put all of these away, either put them away or sell them. I'm thinking I can just kind of like a second set of straps, binders, winches for a second Hotshot setup for a different truck. If I ever get a second truck, maybe this will be my second truck in the future if I can afford another one. I'm thinking they might do justice in the future, but as of now, they're just kind of a waste of space. They're just kind of chilling here. Last purchase is done, and it came out to, is that close enough? $239. EcoFlow River 2. Ta-da! That's this bad boy right here. They actually did have the Jackery, the 290s, not the 290 plus though, which kind of turned me away from it. But anyways, EcoFlow River 2. Why did I choose this bad boy right here? Well, first off, it has 300 watts of continuous power compared to the Jackery that has 200. Now, depending on your uses, it might make or break whatever you're looking to do with it. In my instance, I'm looking into just powering a small space heater for the truck, and maybe the Harbor Freight fan, or charging my Bauer Harbor Freight batteries, just so I can have a continuous fan throughout the night, sucking some cold air from the outside window and then pushing it in here. Another thing that I did like is that right here on the box you can see it has 2 power outlets, or one of those bigger guys right there, and a double prong one. I don't know what they're called. Other thing, charging in the car takes 3 hours, 60 minutes at home, 3 to 6 hours on the solar USB-C. It takes 5 hours. I can charge it here on my USB-C. That would take it 5 hours. Sure, I can have an extra cable running all the way to the back over there in my mess and charging the EcoFlow. But the thing that I really wanted to do is to have it charging in the truck for 3 hours, which helps. The Jackery takes like 6 hours on a home outlet compared to this thing at 60 minutes. So 6 hours home outlet, powerful setup at home, takes 7 hours. That means to me that charging it with the car is going to take like 15-16 hours. It's a lot reduced, it's a lot slower, and I really can't have that. I want the weight of this thing to be worth its weight in gold. I can't justify having the Jackery just sit there for hours while I'm like just sitting there waiting for it to connect a heater or a fan or whatever the case is. Other thing, since it has these 2 prongs right here, one of these is going to be used for my T-Mobile Wi-Fi router. I can have that. I can have the portable power station on, and I can have my Wi-Fi router from home connected to it, since it's a T-Mobile service, and I can use that to power well, not power, but give internet access to my wife's tablet, which she is my dispatcher. She finds me the loads. So I think it's incredibly convenient to have a home Wi-Fi setup inside of the truck so she can find loads for me as we're driving, or for me and my dad as we're driving, and have her be able to email dispatchers and be able to talk to whoever she needs to, get all the information on the go. Using the phone is perfectly fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with using your phone to find loads on the load board, but she can split screen her tablet, and she can have open 2 load boards at the same time. So if anything lands, you know, it automatically refreshes. She'll be able to catch it, and it's just a nice setup. I think it's going to work out really well. Of course, this is all theoretically. I thought a lot of things would work out well my first couple of runs, but they ended up not doing so hot. So this is kind of what we're setting up at. Tomorrow, if I do not work, I will set up the foam mattress or the foam bed, or I might even do that tonight, and then I'll post that up. I'll edit everything. I'll unbox everything tonight. But tomorrow I will record whatever my first impressions, opinions, and, you know, the whole 9 about my power station. So this is pretty much it for today. I know it wasn't too eventful, you know, just cleaning, organizing, and, you know, just some housekeeping stuff, getting the stuff put together. But it was, my books, a successful day. So that's it for recording myself talking and looking like an idiot in parking lots. So I'm gonna run to GameStop. Hopefully I can find a used Pokemon for the Switch, whatever generation they're on, or whatever fucking color, ruby, fucking yellow, transparent, or translucent, or whatever they're on at the moment. Get one of those, take that with me on the road, so in my downtime I can play some Pokemons and have a good time. Alright, well, if you made it this far, thank you for joining me. Thank you for staying and, you know, hanging out with me. This is fun. I hope that I can keep pushing out content that's fun for me to make. I also, later down the road, want to start posting content related to business and to being an owner-operator, the cost, you know, how I ran my business. Again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a great day. Adios.